2-0 win against Philadelphia. Can you give us your initial thoughts?
Tale of two halves, really. I thought we were really good first half, and they were better than us second half. They made a couple of subs, found the pockets a little bit too often in the second half, and we were lucky that our goalkeeper was on form in the second half to certainly stop a goal. But first half I thought was excellent, and we've also had a couple of chances to kill the game off at 3-0. There's a couple of shirt pulls that could have been given, and a couple of red cards that couldn't have been given, but unfortunately they went the other way.
Yeah. Speaking of red cards, it kind of taints the win a little bit, knowing Zaha gets a red card and he won't be available for the next match. What did you make of that?
I didn't see it, so I followed the ball, but we're used to that because our DP weren't available for last season's home game either. He's the most fouled player in the league for a reason, and I felt that the protection of him wasn't as good as it could have been, and I felt that during a few times this season. You could see the whole of their bench up every time there was a foul on him, and it's hard. So sometimes the red mist will come down on you, and he's human. He said that he got kicked, I think, and he tried to push him away, and he ended up pushing him in his head, I believe. But I've not seen it because I followed the ball. So yeah, it's disappointing, but we've secured what we wanted to do, which was fourth place. Host playoff games, and we're looking forward to that now.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, you guys talked about now, that you've actually accomplished it. Just how good does it feel, that you've accomplished that first goal? Yeah,
there's still a lot of unfinished business, though. Finishing the normal season with 59 points is a great achievement from the players. It's a massive improvement on last year, and we want them to keep improving as players, and that's fine. I'm really proud of the players, for what they've achieved this season. But there's a lot more to go, and we've got unfinished business, and that will continue, whether it be Friday or Tuesday. I think hopefully Friday, because this place will be rocking, and we'd look forward to it.
What do you make of playing against New York City?
You can't pick who you're going to play against. We've won at home and lost away. I think we're the two evenly matched teams who will both go into the game, with confidence. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Karen?
Hindsight's always 20/20, and Zaha usually likes to play the whole game. But if you had to do it, would you pull him out?
I was just about to. You could see the two players ready to come off, and in my head it was, we've pretty much won the game now. Let's try and get him off. He's on a yellow card. Get Idan off as well, because they constantly went through the back of them, which isn't allowed normally in football, but it was allowed tonight, unfortunately.
Toffolo, getting him in there, was it almost like he gave you another offensive piece?
He's a good player, and we look a really good team when he's in it. He gives us balance with his accomplished left foot. Tactically, he understands the game, and he wants to get in the opposition half. He wants to put crosses in. He wants to play through balls. And I thought it was another accomplished performance for somebody who hasn't played an awful lot of minutes. And I was glad we got the 62 odd minutes out of him, because it makes him, better and ready for the playoffs.
And that cross and the dummy by Tokomati, were you holding your breath on that one? Didn't
No, I thought Kerwin had a really good game as well. Took his goal really well. Started the game really well, and Wagner for them was having all kinds of trouble. He never knew whether to drop off or get tight with him, and he's put a ball underneath, and Idan's had the cleverness to let it run, and a great finish from Wilf. So yeah, really pleased for them.
Talking about Kerwin Vargas, goal and assist. What did you see from him tonight that you really liked, and how important is it to get someone like him some momentum going into the playoffs?
I think the biggest thing for me was his positivity. He wanted to run forward at defenders, especially in the first half. He never gives up his defensive job. He's as honest as they come. But I want him to keep doing them kind of performances offensively, and I thought he did that really well for us today.
And for Harry coming off, was that by design for him to play about 60 minutes, precautionary, or was he feeling any?
No, that was by design. We was always bringing him off. I grabbed an extra 2 minutes off the medical team without them knowing.
And Going up against NYCFC away with the narrow field, smaller side, what are some of the takeaways from the trip that we had there and the game there that you want to focus on for this one?
Listen, the pitch is what it is. Hopefully because it's a playoff game, there'll be a lot more people there than just the one man and his dog who watched the last game there. And if that's the case, then he'll make for a really good game.
Scott. Dean, how do you win without Zaha? What would be the strategy there?
We have to play well. We know we can be a match winner for us. We've got players in the squad who can actually go and compete. Obviously, you bring a player like Wolf in for a reason, so he's going to be a loss for us. But as I say, we won here last year without our DP when Pep Biel was wrongly, in my opinion, red carded. And we have to go and somebody has to go and show me that they're capable of doing that. So, I'll be looking at the players that we've got available and seeing if they can make that jump.
And I wonder if you could just talk a little more about Kalina, who seems to be playing so well right now.
Yeah, and like all players, it's very rare that your progression is just like that. He had a down period in the middle of the season, but by God, he's come through that, and he looks a hell of a goalkeeper again. He makes saves look simple at times when they're not quite so simple. And if I'm a defender in front of him, I'll feel safe when they get past me.
Carol again.
Speaking of players available, Abada, he broke his hand, is that right?
A metatarsal, I think that's the word. So he's okay. Yeah, he can play with the cast on, I believe. You're not allowed to do that in the UK, so that surprised me. You have to have a special one made, but I'm sure somebody like Abada's not going to go around bashing people with it.
All right, we'll go Sam and then McConnell.
So, Coach, you've got 34 games under your belt. What's your assessment of this team that you've frequently given us 6 and 7 ratings of after the match?
Well, I don't think there'll be any team that's probably going into it with as much form as us in terms of 11 wins out of the last 13. It's incredible form, and we can take a lot of positivity and because of that, and a lot of confidence because of that as well. I just congratulate and thanks all of them for what they've given over the 34 games. But we've been playing must-win games probably for the last 13 games. Because of the points tally earlier in the season, and 59 points is a good points total in this league. And we've actually gone to the last regular season game to actually get in the top 4. So it just shows you how strong the East is, and you've got to be ready now to compete with the best 8 or 9 teams in it.
I know you're a stats guy. In baseball, there's something called WAR, wins above replacement, and the difference between Charlotte's record when Nathan Byrne is on the field versus when Nathan Byrne is off the field has been a huge difference this year. Like, what is the difference that Nate has brought throughout this season?
You must be a family member if you're trying to get him in the team every week. No, I mean, listen, he's experienced, he understands the league, he's level-headed. He's one of the leaders within the group as well. And I've always said about the stats, he very rarely gives you under a 7 out of 10, and that's what you're looking for with players that can give you them sort of performances week in, week out. And yeah, he's humble. We've been a really good professional, and he's what we need at the club.
Do you think that there is, anybody else we've talked about Zaha obviously being out. Is there anybody else on the team who is a huge difference maker to you, who you are looking to in this first series against New York?
Well, I'll have a look at the players during the week, see who's staking a claim. But yeah, we've definitely got players that can go and do it. And as I always say, when something closes up for somebody, it opens up for somebody else, and it's an opportunity now. And what a big opportunity to go and play at home.
And then finally, man of the match tonight for the stadium was Kalina. He demonstrated, not only had a clean sheet, but demonstrated those amazing kind of saves that he can make. How important is Kalina's current form going to be for the playoff run?
Yeah, really important. I mean, he made some really good saves towards the end of the game. which were a little bit closer to our goal than I would have liked. I thought Tim Ream and Adil played really well. I thought Diani was excellent tonight as well. So there was a number of players that had good games, and I just thought we were a little bit loose in the second half, and they went for it. If we'd have got the third, we'd have killed the game off, and we had a couple of breakaways early on in the second half, which could have just killed the game.
Thank you. Good luck telling Mr. Tepper that this is your pitch and not the other team's.
No, we support the Panthers as well as ourselves.
Last one to Colin here. Sam took my question about season takeaway, so I'll just cap it with how do you guys plan to celebrate tonight before you get back to work?
I'll probably go home and have a nice glass of cold milk, and then a red wine followed by it.
All right, guys, thank you.
The true Hereford alum.
Yeah. Thank you all.